Donnie, a man who considered WD-40 a primary food group, surveyed his kingdom. The warehouse, a cathedral of corrugated steel and shrink-wrapped dreams, hummed with activity. Forklifts zipped around like caffeinated wasps. Conveyor belts groaned under the weight of 1,000 online orders. It wasn't pretty, but it was home. Donnie wouldn't have it any other way. Well, maybe air conditioning and a nap room. Definitely a nap room. Donnie winced, imagining his eardrums vibrating. "Yeah, Phil, what's up?" he mumbled back, already bracing himself for the inevitable dad joke. "Donnie, you there?"
Just wondering if you've seen my Allen key. It seems to have gone missing."
Donnie sighed and contemplated throwing himself into the compactor. Only Phil could make a missing Allen key sound like a federal offense. Donnie continued his rounds, the smell of cardboard and industrial cleaner a comforting aroma. He passed Callum and Miles, the resident muscle men, attempting to assemble a shelf. Key word, attempting. Let's just say IKEA instructions and these two were not exactly on speaking terms. "Need a hand, fellas?" Donnie asked, barely able to suppress a chuckle.
"Nah, we got this."
5 minutes and a few choice words later, a shelf leg went flying across the warehouse, narrowly missing Gareth, the assistant engineer who, with his nervous demeanor and beady eyes, resembled a startled budgie more than a numbers whiz. Suddenly, a loud fart echoed through the warehouse. Max, the resident prankster, had struck again. The sound was so unexpected that everyone burst into laughter, the tension of the day momentarily forgotten. Even Donnie couldn't help but chuckle, shaking his head. "Max, you never fail to lighten the mood," he thought, as the warehouse filled with the sound of laughter. Donnie's radio crackled again.
"Attention all personnel, I've found my Allen key. It seems it was between jobs."
A collective groan echoed through the warehouse. Even the conveyor belts seemed to sigh in exasperation. Donnie shook his head and chuckled. Leave it to Phil to turn a missing Allen key into a stand-up routine. "Honestly, that man," muttered Gareth, adjusting his spectacles as if they could somehow filter out Phil's puns. Even Yanko, the imposing Bulgarian brute, who usually resembled a human scowl, cracked a rare smile. And Donnie thought about jumping into a lathe, admitting there was something strangely endearing about that. The day wore on in a blur of minor mishaps and near disasters.
Woohoo.
Seb, the cheeky engineer, almost took out a row of shelves with a runaway pallet jack, his cries of "woohoo" echoing through the warehouse. Through it all, I remained the unflappable eye of the storm, dispensing duct tape and wisdom in equal measure. I watched as Alex, the resident tech wizard, effortlessly rebooted the main computer system, all while quoting obscure lyrics from his favorite pirate metal band. "The motherboard be cursed, I say, time to make her walk the plank." I exchanged a knowing nod with Mark and Mark, the World War III veterans who were so inseparable they were simply known as Mark and Mark. I even shared a peaceful moment with Benson, the laid-back maintenance worker from Ghana who approached life and even the most frustrating equipment malfunctions with a zen-like calm that I envied. Of course, it wasn't a drill, it was Brett, the goggler, who had mistaken the fire extinguisher for a giant air freshener. The warehouse was now engulfed in a cloud of white powder, making it look like a winter wonderland designed by a pyromaniac. I sighed. It was going to be a long night. I grabbed my trusty WD-40 because, well, you never knew when it might come in handy. As I navigated through the cloud of fire extinguisher dust, I could hear Phil's voice booming over the alarm system.
"Everybody stay calm, it's probably just a drill."
Just as I thought I'd seen it all, the fire alarm shrieked, sending the entire warehouse into a frenzy. People scrambled for the exits, some with more grace and coordination than others.
"Donnie, you might want to check on Brett. He's looking a little ashen."
I shook my head. Leave it to Phil to find humor even in a potential HSE violation. As the dust settled, literally and figuratively, I took stock of the situation. The fire department had come and gone. Brett was being lectured by a very unimpressed Daweed, the maintenance manager, and life, as it always did, went on. I leaned against a stack of boxes, watching the familiar chaos unfold. It wasn't glamorous, this life of grease, gaffes, and good-natured mayhem, but it was mine. And as another ear-splitting dad joke echoed through the warehouse, courtesy of Phil, I couldn't help but want to jump of the top floor. Another day, another dollar. The wonders of warehouse life never ceased. Now about that nap room.